Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Thursday, April 10th, 2025, and we've got a lot to unpack after today's market session. From the latest inflation numbers to how tech stocks responded and what to watch heading into Friday's session, I've got you covered. Whether you're holding long or trading short-term, stick around. I'll break down what really moved the markets today and what that could mean for tomorrow. Don't forget to like this video if you find it helpful, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our daily updates. Let's dive right in. So, here's how the day shook out. The Dow closed slightly higher, gaining around 65 points to finish the day at just over 39,420. It was a modest move, but considering the CPI data that dropped earlier this morning, it's a bit of a surprise. The S&P 500 held steady, basically flat, hovering around the 5,190 mark. The Nasdaq saw a little more action, dipping slightly by 0.3%, dragged down by weakness in chipmakers and some of the larger tech names. We got the March CPI report this morning, and that really set the tone. Headline inflation came in at 3.5% year-over-year, a tick higher than expected. Core CPI, which strips out food and energy, also ran hot at 3.8%. This has investors recalibrating their expectations around rate cuts. A lot of folks were pricing in a potential cut by the Fed this summer, but after today, those bets are starting to fade. Let's talk sectors. Here's what stood out: energy stocks continued their climb. Crude oil stayed north of $89 a barrel, thanks to tight supply data and ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Financials caught a small bid. With bond yields ticking up after the CPI report, bank stocks like JPMorgan and Bank of America managed to hold up okay. Tech. Not so much. Nvidia, AMD, and even Microsoft all pulled back a bit today. Nothing dramatic, but enough to weigh on the Nasdaq. Utilities and consumer staples held up surprisingly well, safe havens, as always, when inflation surprises to the upside. So, what's coming up for Friday, April 11th? It's going to be quieter in terms of economic data, but that doesn't mean it'll be a sleepy session. Here's what I'm watching: big banks kick off earnings season. JPMorgan, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup are all set to report before the bell. These names are going to set the tone for the rest of earnings season. Pay attention not just to their results, but to what they say about consumer credit, loan demand, and deposit levels. Retail sales preview. The data's not dropping until next week, but traders may start positioning ahead of time. With inflation still running hot, any sign that consumers are pulling back could hit retail stocks hard. Fed speak. We've got a couple of Fed officials on the calendar tomorrow, including John Williams from the New York Federal. After today's CPI numbers, the market will be hanging on every word. If you're active in the market, here are a few setups I'm watching for Friday. Tesla, TSLA, it's been consolidating near $165 after that delivery miss. Keep an eye on a break above $170 or a flush under $160. Apple AAPL, pulled back to its 50-day moving average. Could be a buying opportunity if it holds this level with volume. XLE, energy ETF momentum still looks strong here. If oil keeps climbing, there's room for this to test its 52-week high. JPMorgan, JPM, earnings play. Options flow today suggested a bullish lean. Watch pre-market closely. Also, keep your eyes on the 10-year yield. It popped above 4.45% after the inflation data. If that continues Friday, we could see more pressure on growth names. To wrap it up, the takeaway from today is simple: inflation's still sticky, and the market doesn't like uncertainty when it comes to the Federal. Tomorrow's bank earnings will be a big test, not just for financials, but for sentiment as a whole. If the banks deliver strong numbers and sound confident about the economy, we might see some stability return. But if they start flashing warning signs about credit quality or consumer spending, expect some volatility. Either way, it's a good time to stay nimble, manage risk, and don't force trades. We're heading into a key earnings season with inflation back in the spotlight. Be ready for anything. Alright, that's it for today's market recap and forecast. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. Drop a comment below and let me know what stocks you're watching for Friday. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the bell so you don't miss tomorrow's breakdown after the big bank earnings hit. Thanks for hanging out, good luck out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.